His name is Jerry Rice. He's a Marine reservist who's fought in the war, who's come back, and he has 3 young children, plus 1 on the way, and a wife who struggles to understand what he's going through. And they struggle for money. They live in a trailer home. Not just not a great environment, and he's very fucked up basically, and his little kid really is the only one who tries to understand him and tries to show him some love and affection, and she's very sweet and believes very much in God, and that God will somehow help them to overcome what they need to overcome. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the viewer. I mean, you take from it what you will, you know, and you read into it what you will. I think it's important, and I think Francesco, who wrote the script, was making an interesting point on that aspect of the story. No, I didn't. I think that wouldn't have been fair for me to go and speak to these guys. I'm just an actor, you know. I've not experienced war, so I wouldn't want to sit down with someone and even try and understand what was going on in their head. It was more about reading books, watching DVDs, and then just saying the words that were on the page. No, not at all. It doesn't excuse it at all, you know. I don't think that's what the film, certainly that's not the intention of the film. It's just he does this because he's not functioning properly, you know. His mind's not functioning properly. So that's all we're trying to say with the film, that these men are being affected, and it's leading them to do things like this, you know. I don't want to give too much away, but that's all we're trying to say. It certainly don't excuse it. It's just, you know, we're just trying to understand him, you know. It's not pointing the finger at him and saying, you know, it's okay because he's suffering from this to do what he does. It's just, you know, hopefully trying to sort of try and understand what he's going through, and try and open people's eyes to the fact that, you know, these kids are coming back and suffering this way, because I'm not sure. I think now more people are aware of it, but you know, not to the extent that they probably should be, you know, because these kids always say, you know, they're prepared, they're fully prepared and trained to go to war. They're just not prepared at all to come back home. So it's just a moment of clarity, I think, you know. I mean, it's he comes close to it, you know, and he could have done, but I think it's just a moment of clarity, and you know, she's a daddy's girl, so, and they do have a special little relationship, and yeah, it's just clarity. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I think you sort of, I thought she's his little girl, and she's very sweet, you know. When you see the Grace who plays Selena, she's like that anyway. She's a cute little kid, and I think we sort of establish it at the beginning in the trailer that, you know, she shows him more affection than maybe his other 2 sons, who are a little bit older, and, you know, are not. I just think that dad's going crazy, but the little girl, you know, she tries to reach out to him, and I think he sees that. She was, as far as where we were shooting, she was very professional. You know, for a little girl that age to sort of be able to understand the seriousness of the subject. I mean, she's not fully aware of everything that happened in the film. She doesn't know certain parts of the story, but she just really was. She just really hooked onto the relationship between the little girl and the dad, and I think she really understood the religious aspects of it, and her belief and her faith in God is something that I think comes from Grace personally. Anyway, she was just fantastic. You know, I don't really know what to say, but apart from that, she was really engaging. She worked very hard, and as well as, you know, having time to go and play and be a little kid, which she should. She was always prepared and focused when she needed to be. I think they're important. I don't know whether they can change people's minds, but if it just makes people pay a bit more attention to it, and then maybe, you know, look into it a little deeper. You know, it's not. I don't think the film's that, you know, or any film is that profound to change someone's mind like that. But if it just opens their eyes to the subject a little bit more, and then they can, you know, take that with them, and hopefully it stays with them long after the credits have rolled, and then they'll be able to, off their own back, maybe look into the subject a little bit more and try and understand it a little bit more. And, you know, if it makes people angry and if it makes people upset, then I think it's great, it's important. Obviously I was against the war and still am. So it's obviously, I think when people make films like this, it's, you know, it's not no glorification of war, you know. Every film that's come out recently about war, and there's been a few, you know, they're all condemning it, and I think that's important that, you know, artists are standing up and trying to tell a story of what's happening to the individuals that are over there, you know, and not the politicians who are sat in rooms pressing buttons and making phone calls and doing none of the work, you know. It's about the kids who are actually fighting over there, you know, and people just look at them as numbers, you know, 3,000 troops go in, but I mean, they're all individuals, obviously, and they should be accounted for and they should be looked after, and I think they deserve more when they come back, more help than what they get at the moment, and anyone who's trying to put that to the forefront of people's minds is doing a great job, you know, as far as I'm concerned. So any film that's come out about the war is important, whether people slag it off and whether it's a great film, you know, everyone's trying to tell a story, you know, so it's important. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, no one ever gives me comedy, so I can't really say, to be honest with you. It'd be nice to maybe do something like that, you know, but I'm really not fussed as long as the material's good and the story's worth telling and there's an interesting character there, you know. I'm not really thinking about it too much, apart from just, you know, working with good people and working on good material.